evening for the Small Business Boot Camp, and tonight's topic, being part of a professional business association. Tonight we have guest speakers from the Orange County Chamber of Commerce, Latinos in Business Succeeding Together, Hudson Valley Women in Business. This program is set to record for those who cannot watch the program live. And without further ado, I'm passing things over to Ellen Philo from the City of Newburgh.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Ellen Philo, and I'm Director of Community Development for the City of Newburgh. And I work with managing our HUD programs, as well as some workforce development projects, economic development. I manage our film office, as well as some tourism initiatives. And we're very happy to have you here this evening. We want to thank our partners, Newburgh Free Library, for being our host. We want to thank Small Business Administration as our co-sponsor of this event, and Small Business Development Center as well. And with that, I'm going to pass this over to Sylvia Rivera.
Thank you, Ellen, and we're going to be brief. So, hi, I'm Sylvia Rivera. I am an economic development specialist with the United States Small Business Administration, together with our resource partners, which is the Small Business Development Center in the Mid-Hudson. We are bringing this together for you with our co-sponsor, Ellen Philo, the City of Newburgh, and we are sharing information that we hope is going to enhance your business and prowess. So, with no further ado, I will put on Sam, our Director of the Small Business Development Center in the Mid-Hudson Valley. Sam?
Yep, this is Sam Candell. I am the Regional Director of the Mid-Hudson Small Business Development Center. There's nothing more important to the success of a business than the connections you make and the relationships you build. And the speakers tonight represent organizations that provide a platform for their members to do just that. Don't forget that the SVDC provides one-on-one business counseling in the region, the state, and the country. And I want to thank our resource partners, the SBA, the City of Newburgh, and the City of Newburgh Free Library, and also our presenters tonight. So enjoy the presentations. And I guess our first speaker will be Marcel Martino from the Orange County Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Well, hello, everybody. It's great to be here. Spent many years in Newburgh, but now I'm over in Beacon, but still rooting for Newburgh. So the Orange County Chamber, a little history. There used to be two chambers in Orange County, and then many years ago, they joined and became one. I've been involved with the chamber now, probably about 6-7 years. I was their chairman. I'm now their vice chairman, soon to be their past chairman. So a lot of things have happened with chamber, and one of our main focuses is small business. You know, we do have large organizations that are partners that provide funding, but our key focus is really small businesses because they need help. So we try to provide as much as we can. We have a great new leader, Heather Bell. She's been with us a little over a year, and she's made a tremendous change. The one great thing that I'm finding with Heather is that she is out there meeting with the members, talking to the members, finding out what their needs are, and then following back and making sure they're met. So that's the key to an association. We have probably now close to, I think, 950 members, which has really grown. I mean, probably 2-3 years ago, we were down about 700. So it's a major change. We have some great corporate sponsors. And our main goal is really to give support, both political advocacy when necessary, but also there's programs that have been put in place that will help agencies, organizations. You know, we have meetings every month, breakfast, which is a really great time to meet other people and connect. And that's the goal of those breakfasts, is really to make sure people meet each other. We always have like probably anywhere from 150 to 200 people come to those breakfasts. So there's a lot of connections happening there. We try to move it around the county to make sure that we're touching all the bases, and it used to be just one spot, but we felt it's important to go to different places. So the key to the association is that we are providing help to people, even individuals. I mean, we've had people come to us that have issues that we help them with. We don't get involved in like startups or things like that, but certainly we have people that can help. So our goal really is, as an association, is to make sure that businesses are growing. It was tough during the pandemic for everybody as well as for us, but we got through it, and I think we came out stronger. So it's really been I've enjoyed my time there. You know, I met a lot of good people. A lot of people need help, and we're always looking for, tell us what you need and we will deliver. That's the key. So we recently moved our offices from Goshen to Maybrook. We're in a historic building there, so that's been fun. It's a great place. It's more centrally located, and you know, we have folks coming there all the time. We just one of the things is pretty new is we started a diversity committee that I'm a member of that, and we're trying to really reach out and just to be very honest, our own board. You know, we need to make sure. Fortunately, we have more women than men now, which is better. But we need to make sure that we're diversified and representing the businesses out there, and that's what we're trying to do now. So that the association has been great. I know there's a lot of small chambers out there. We try to help them when we can. We try to have joint meetings every so often, and we can help other people around the county. One of the things that's happened I've been in healthcare my entire life, and one of the things I did recently, I was running Inspire, which is a small agency that for developmental disability children and adults. And I saw the future. The future was that we're not that big, and that we have to hook up with somebody bigger. That's a trend. The reason I'm bringing that up, because that's a trend that's happening today. Smaller businesses are joining larger businesses for protection, for support. And look at the hospitals. If you look at almost every hospital, they are part of a system. There's very few freestanding hospitals anymore. You just can't do it alone. So I see small businesses starting to do that also. And it doesn't mean you have to lose your identity. You keep your identity, just like, as I said, I was running Inspire for many years. And what happened is I brought in a large organization from New York City, and they took them over, but they have the same board, the same name, and they're just helping them out. So you're going to see more of that. And I think that's important. Don't be afraid of it, because I think it can help you grow. I've talked to some small businesses that have done this, and they're very happy. The concern people have sometimes, well, they're going to swallow me up, I'm going to lose my staff, I'm going to lose my job. Look, I'm not telling you that couldn't happen, but I'm telling you the majority works the other way. It really helps people grow. So I would encourage you, if that comes to you, look at it. Be serious and take a look at it. So that's where we are with associations. The chamber is doing very well now. Very happy about it. And we're, if you know more about it, if you're not members, please consider joining. I think it'd be very helpful. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I kicked out.
Anybody?
Question is, if they find out you're in there, will then kick you out.
Okay.
Could you put your a link in the chat box as well to the chamber? I don't know if that would be possible for you to do that, just so everyone could have the information if they're looking to contact the chamber for anything.
You know what I do, because I'm not good technology.
Oh, okay, that's
So
okay.
what I'll do is I'll have Heather send you the information. So
Perfect.
You can share it with all the members.
Yep, and we can get that out to everybody. Perfect, that would be
Absolutely.
I
wonderful.
can put it in the chat for you.
Okay. That'd be great.
If anybody have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Okay,
In terms of professional organizations,
yes.
is it your experience that, joining professional organizations on the whole, even beyond the chamber, but other professional organizations that relate maybe directly to the work that you're doing, do you find that that is a benefit to businesses?
I would say normally, yes. I mean, you got to be careful what you join. Just don't join to join an organization. Find out about it before you join. Talk to some of the members. Has it been helpful? Because
Mhm.
there are a lot of organizations out there that, to be honest with you, are not all that helpful. In my new position, because technically I was going to retire from Inspire, but it didn't happen. The agency for the city that took us over asked me to stay on. So I'm their vice president of community relations, basically because I've been up this area for over 30 years, so I know everybody, and they wanted me to introduce them to the community. What has happened is I've been going to different chambers. I just recently went to the Rockland Business Association. I found them great. There was a lot of good people. I met a ton of people, very helpful. And I'll be honest with you, joined some others, not so much. So check it out before you make a decision to decide, because don't waste your time. It's not worth it. You need
Thank you.
something that's going to help you.
Actually, one more question.
Yeah, please.
Follow-up. So when you say that professional organizations help you, can you talk a little bit about what that looks like? What forms of help do professional organizations, or should you expect professional organizations to offer?
Well, a lot of times what we'll do at the chamber, they have a website. They constantly put information about different companies on there. And then sometimes we highlight companies at different meetings. Like the last breakfast we had, there was a panel discussion about nonprofits. How do they continue raising money? And there was a bunch of people there that from different areas, and you learn. Now, if you run a nonprofit, it's, oh, I learned something today. Maybe there's a different way of doing it. Because things, as we all know, things have changed. With the pandemic, it's a whole different world. With Zoom, it's a whole different world. So you got to kind of be a little more creative in when you're doing things. So they're helpful. I mean, I've been to some meetings where, to be honest, I didn't get anything out of it. But others, wow, there was a lot of great information. But again, make sure that you check them out first. Don't just jump into something. Oh, it's a great place to join. No, that's not always the case. But
Thank you.
you're welcome. And I'll offer, if anybody has any questions beyond this meeting, we'll let you know how to reach me. I'll be happy to talk to you offline, or, anytime you'd like to connect with me, that's fine. Always looking to help.
Thank you so much, Marcel. And I don't know if Linda's still there with us from the NFL. And I'm not talking the Giants, okay, I'm just kidding. But we like to
Or from
put on
Lisa.
our next guest. Who's our next guest? Is that Lady Anita? I'm not sure.
I think I am. I think someone was before me, but if I'll be happy to go wherever you need.
Please do. Thank you, dear.
Sure. So I want to say hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am the owner of a business consultancy called 11375. We are a women's owned business that is connected to workforce development. We work with community engagement. We also provide support to other small businesses to help them become certified with the city and state of New York. I'm a New York-based business. And my connection to this conversation is because I am a huge advocate of encouraging small businesses such as myself to really think about organizations that they are connected with to help them to grow and scale. And the first thing I can tell you is I am a Brooklyn transplant. So I moved up to the Hudson Valley from Brownsville, Brooklyn. And when I moved up, it was quite lonely, right? You know, and thinking about being a business of color, you know, and transitioning to a new area. One of the things that I did was I silently dated two organizations, right? So I was a silent dater. And so what did that mean? I did research. I, you know, watched and attended events, you know, right before we were shut down. But I just kind of put out where could I get the best resources, but also not only where can I get, it was how can I actively contribute my skill set to these specific organizations, because, you know, I have experience of leading a trade association. It was a former banking association. So I do have that experience of being connected to other small businesses. But I also recognize that when you are a trade association or a professional organization, a lot of it is volunteer based. And so while you do have staff, there is opportunity for one to, you know, volunteer. And a lot of those committees and subcommittees are run in a volunteer capacity. And so I have to tell you that when I transitioned, there were two organizations that pretty much mirrored some of the work that I was doing at the time, but my business has definitely grown substantially. The first one is Hudson Valley Women in Business. I am a member, but I also serve as an advisor to the organization. And the second organization that I was silently dating for quite some time is the Upstate New York Black Chamber of Commerce. And I have to tell you that if you are not, you can pay membership to all these organizations because all the organizations are membership based. But what I have to add on is that if you're not actively contributing to your growth within these membership-based organizations, then it's almost pointless. What I mean by pointless is because, you know, the organizations have tons of resources. If you look at what the Orange County Chamber of Commerce, they have breakfasts, they have prayer breakfasts, networking events. But if you do not actively become engaged, meaning how can you transition those activities to either converting within your business, that could be a thing, or how can you, maybe there's a community connection that these organizations can, that they need your relationship, your networks, your business, that you can then contribute to. So my perspective is that, you know, when you're joining trade associations, it's a two-way street. Yes, it's membership based. Yes, they do have resources, but these organizations definitely need your support, your effort, your talent in order to be able to, one, create a pipeline of new members that are coming in. So I can tell you that both my experiences have been that, yes, I've had, you know, opportunities to do business, to gain business with other organizations. But the biggest thing for me is really offering my talent, right? You know, so how is it that I can be supportive in addition to getting referrals, in addition to, you know, being connected to speaking engagements, in addition to, you know, doing community engagement work. I can tell you that 2 weekends ago, as a result of me being connected to Hudson Valley Women in Business, we pulled a plane for charity. I would have never thought that being connected to a trade association, that I would have been connected to a charity, but I pulled a plane, an actual very large plane. It was very intimidating, but a group of us did it. But also what also translates into not only doing business, but also making friends and also really deepening your learning. So, you know, learning how to really connect if you need like business plans, I've helped, members of our team to write business plans, help them with the MWBE certification or how to do business with government contracting, because that's the space where my business lives. So there are tons and tons of benefits, but it's definitely, I can say, rewarding, but you have to put in the work, because I personally believe that it's a two-way street. And so I will pause and say that if there are any, I can facilitate any questions. Again, my name is Anita Pierce, and I'm the owner of 11375. We are a business consultancy. We work with other small businesses in the government contracting space, workforce development, and I also serve as a SCORE mentor as well. So thank you for the opportunity.
Before anybody asks questions, thank you. I had no idea you were a SCORE mentor as well.
Yay, I love SCORE.
Yeah, which chapter are you with?
The New York City chapter.
Oh, very cool.
I haven't transitioned yet. They still
That's okay. We love you. We want to keep you. I'm sorry. We'll share. We share. Sharing is caring.
And I started smiling when you talked about working with businesses, with government contracts, especially MWBE. So I want to get your contact information, because I get a lot of questions regarding how can people position themselves and register themselves. And then the other one is, we're between Sylvia and myself with SBA, we're constantly trying to explain to businesses why they need to do these particular registrations, that it's so important for your business. And thank you very much. Yeah, that was terrific.
Anyone else have any questions? Because if you don't, I'm not sure if Lady Sandra is here yet. Sandra Salguero?
I was looking too to see if there was a different name, or if anyone else. Yeah.
We should have sent her another email. Would that be in the case? Well, Ellen, I'm sure you have lots of questions.
I have a quick question. I know this is interesting, and it kind of ties into what Anita was just talking about, and then also Marcel. For example, when you're trying out an organization for like a breakfast or some sort of event, there are member and non-member rates, correct? So that if you want to attend, you're not breaking the bank, correct?
Yeah, well, for the chamber, if you're a member for breakfast, I think it's now $30 or $35. And then if you're a non-member, I think it's a little bit more, maybe $5 more. That's just to go to the breakfast.
And network, right?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the networking's great. That's the place to be.
And I have to tell everyone that every opportunity you get to network, you take it. You never know who in that room is going to be able to enhance your business, or that you can work with to make it work better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been with the chamber over, I don't know, 6-7 years. I still meet new people when I go to these breakfasts. There's always somebody new there. And, obviously when new members come, we let people know there are new members, so they get the advantage of being introduced to everybody.
And I'm glad you brought up the not-for-profit world, because I get a lot of questions about not-for-profits, starting a not-for-profit. The biggest thing that I'd love to be able to do is to refer people for networking, but also for people to understand that a not-for-profit, where there's some benefits, is being able to get grants, whatever, but it's still a business. And that's just been the biggest thing that I've had to explain to people. It doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all. No. It's just your business structure. And I don't know if either of you could speak to that too, as far as any other anything else related to that. I know it's straying a little bit from our topic, but as far as networking events or resources or something along that line.
Well, I mean, I've spent my pretty much entire life working for nonprofits. And the thing I always like to tell people, which they don't really understand, is that yes, a nonprofit has to work as a business, otherwise it's not going to survive. But there's a big difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit. So I go to events where I talk to the Rotary, different people, and I say, you guys who run businesses, if you have a problem, maybe you can raise your prices, if you're losing some money. And so we cannot do that in the nonprofit world. You're given rates by the state, by the federal government, and you have to live with those rates. So if your costs go up, you got to deal with it. So that's the major difference. And that's why, unfortunately, you see a lot of nonprofits, they have to do fundraising. They have to try to make up that or look for grants. So that's a big difference.
And I just want to add, in starting, with some of the work that we accomplished, definitely ensuring that, to your point, a nonprofit is a business. And, when starting, sometimes there are ways that you can, figure out how to run programming through nonprofits, and also, have those entities be separate. And so, to your point, there are a number of organizations that are starting that aren't clear about what their vision is. And so we take them back to the fundamentals of why you want to start a business, who is your market, who do you want to sell to or be your client, and also figure out how you're going to generate revenue for your business. And really thinking, really deepening those understandings, because as we all recognize, the pandemic created a lot of new opportunities for entrepreneurs. There's been this mass exodus that even as a small business experienced in trying to hire someone, but they want to go into the business for themselves without really taking a dive into the fundamentals. So we work really aggressively to have them understand that, visioning, yes, you want to, maybe you want to work with the food pantry, or what I've also advised clients is that, take time to volunteer before you actually go into business for yourself, if it's a nonprofit or a social cause that you're looking to get involved with. As I learned, through my experience, is that, sometimes when you're volunteering and you're really engaged in the volunteering, there's a lot that you can see, right? If you're really open and exposed to learning that work. And then, you can decide what you want to, take and create into your business, to be able to still make the impact. But the comment was brought up earlier about, really thinking about partnering. But I also want to add in volunteering, but also really taking the opportunity to deepen your learnings, because as I've been in business for now 6.5 years, and I can tell you that it does have its ebbs and flows. This is my full-time job. And I have to tell you that I've learned and am still learning, specifically since I've transitioned more into the government contracting space. And that is, you have to have your business compliance, i.e. example, filing taxes, making sure, your business registration, specifically in New York State, that it's registered, and that you have everything in order, all the compliance, everything needs to be in order. The other thing, and what we also learned and discovered, that those who wanted to apply for the PPP loan, as an example, could not, because they were not financially compliant. And so when we think about, on the basics, what does it look like to really be a small business? It's really having your foundation set, meaning file your taxes, make sure you register. You don't have to do everything under the books. There are a lot of benefits of having your books in order. And then also think about how you can partner with these chambers to help you to grow and scale your business. So I definitely want to, just say that, yes, on a nonprofit side, it is a business entity. Just as if you're going into for-profit, You have to decide how you want to run your business and register within the state. And I'm talking specifically the state of New York, because when you go to um, other states, the requirements are different. And so you just have to really figure out, you know, where you want to land and grow your business, and make sure that you're in compliance. File your taxes. There are benefits. I can tell you that. And join organizations that can help you grow and scale.
Also, whenever you're looking to get a loan and when you're trying to expand your business, when you work that out in your business plan, you put in every association, every contact you have, what you're a part of, so that trying to get a loan, the loan is more accessible if they know that you have a real standing in your community and you're very well connected. They won't think that you're just trying to take some money and be gone. So just think about that. Being part of an association, a chamber of commerce, dealing with other businesses, into like even housing association. Every little part of that is very important for your business, because you become a bigger part of the community and they know that you're stable and responsible. So they really want to work with you.
I see
think
we have
that
a
works very
question.
well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see we
Go
have a
ahead. I'm
question
sorry.
from Megan. Do you have any advice for creative and art businesses? So we'll open that up to Marcel or to Anita.
That's a tough one. I don't know if I can really respond to that, but you know, again, it's like any business. It's a unique business. Obviously, I would reach out to, I mean, there are a few agencies out there that do work with that sector, and I would just try to reach out to them. Certainly, you know, again, as a chamber, we would help any organization, but that is fairly unique. So I think you got to find some expertise in that area with somebody who really knows what they're doing, to be honest.
So I can I see there's a follow-up question about the financial constraints, and I can definitely understand and talk to that. And that is why I silently dated a lot of organizations, right? Because I could not always afford to be a financial paid member of the organizations. Now, there are some that do have a variety of levels of membership that which you can still gain benefits without the financial contribution at the moment. Because think about your business, right? When you are starting, unless you have an immediate infusion of capital, sometimes you may be working and still, you know, funding your dream. So that could be another way that you can think about it. You don't have to go all in immediately, because I can tell you that from the comment was mentioned earlier about you know, getting capital, getting funding and resources. A lot of traditional banks will not fund startups, and so you really have to think about putting your skin, your investment, and figuring out creative ways like crowdfunding, or asking members of the family to help to support your dream. Or one model that I use specifically is I utilize investments to help to fund my business, because I didn't have an immediate cash infusion to help me to grow. But then as I was able to, you know, show that I have you know, proof of my business, that I was able to then invest into these specific organizations. But also, if there are opportunities for you to volunteer, I would definitely consider doing that until you are able to pay as a member of these organizations. But again, there are so many resources and ways to connect. One, if there are organizations that have free membership, I know for sure Hudson Valley Women in Business does have a free membership, right? And then there are paid memberships that, different levels of paid membership. But if you go and figure out, what is it that I really want to get out of this specific organization, and then think about volunteering, or find ways that if organizations have free memberships available, take advantage of it until you're able to contribute financially to the organization. Because I want to also mention that as well, that the organizations, the chambers are small businesses as well. So you don't want to, think that that the membership it's not their bottom line, but it does impact their overall business model, right? So it's membership based, and you want to consider, right, I'm investing into this organization because there will be a return on investment as I put in as well. So just be mindful that these are membership based organizations, and that those membership dollars does contribute to something within their business model.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. I mean, to give you an example, I think I mentioned earlier in my presentation that the chamber, to be very blunt, was having some trouble years ago. And it wasn't being run well, to be honest. And members were dropping and they weren't getting satisfaction. So why would you stay? You leave. So we turned that around. And like I said, we had, I think, 700 members at that point. We're now almost 1,000. And the reason for that is that we're giving the members what they want. The Heather, who's the CEO, constantly asks people, well, what do you need from us? Are we doing what you want? What else can we do? What kind of presentations can we put on? And so forth. So that's the key. We got to give back to the members, because as Anita said, it's a member organization and they're paying and they should get value for that. So just throw that in.
Does anyone else have any questions? Don't be afraid to unmute. Just unmute and ask a question, because we're here for this specific reason, to give you advice and just give you a little counseling, to give you an idea of what you may need to do to help you get started into joining a professional organization. And when you're within the organization, just networking within, it just enhances your business. If you're just starting out, it's better to know people that can help you. And you never know, you might have a team or a joint venture with someone, a little bit of everything. As you all know, I work with the Small Business Administration, and our resource partners are the Veteran Business Outreach Centers, the SCORE, which is the Service Corps Retired Executives. Not all of them are retired executives, but they all have mega knowledge. And we have the Women Business Centers, as well as the Small Business Development Centers. All of these have free seminars and webinars. And right now, even though we're not doing a lot in person, we still have webinars so that you can take advantage of them at your leisure. So if there's something that you need some advice on, and you can always reach out to them. First of all, they're there to help you with your business from the idea phase through the life of your business. These are your tax dollars at work. We don't stop just because you started your business already and now we're done with you. No, it doesn't work that way. We're here for you and to help you and guide you. We help you start, we help you grow, we help you expand. And as Lady Anita said, even during a disaster, that's the only time the SBA becomes an actual bank. That's when we really, really help you to recover. So don't be afraid to ask questions, because questions are what help you get a little more insight into business and how to make it work for you. And that's our point. Anyone have any questions? Well, Marcel, I had no idea you were with the Orange County Chamber of Commerce, because I have been talking to Ms. Heather Bell for a while now, and we're planning to work to bring more presentations out to Orange County.
That's great.
Because even though the city of Newburgh, we started out, thank you, Ellen, because Ellen is the catalyst that made all this happen. We spoke to each other one day and connected, and we did a co-sponsorship agreement. We had the Small Business Development Center. We invited them to come and speak and do some presentations. And so then we took over a series, and we started that, what was it, 3 years ago? And we have spring series and autumn series, sometimes work through the summer, but a lot of people like to take vacations, so they're not always available to join us, but we're here to help you. And we're hoping that this will be fun for you as well as it is for me. And as soon as we get back to in person, you know, I'm going to be up there. I'm just jealous right now because the trees are changing. And I believe that all those amazing colors, oh my God, I can't, I want pictures. Come on, people, you got to share pictures. Because I am telling you, my daughter moved upstate to New Hampshire, and she goes for walks every day. She'll send me a new picture. It's amazing. But wait till the snow comes. That's when I want to go up there. So talk to us.
Not sure if
Just
we
a little
have
bit.
any additional questions. I guess it doesn't look like we have our third presenter this evening. But I do know that Chris from the Newburgh Free Library does send a follow-up with the link for the recording. I know that was one of the questions that was asked. So if there's any information that people have missed, and as always, you can always reach out to us. Again, you know, we'll have our contact information on the email. That will be the follow-up. And I'm just looking to see if there's any other questions. And if not, we're going to look forward to seeing everyone in our next workshop in 2 weeks. And that will be our small business panel discussion with, I believe it's 5 small businesses in the city of Newburgh. And
I had a quick
talking
question.
about, oh, great, thanks.
I was wondering if there are any resources particularly for virtual businesses. I know that a lot of people through the pandemic started home businesses, and a lot of them are virtual. And I actually am one of those persons. So I was wondering if there's anything in particular, if it's just pretty much everything that applies to brick and mortar business that we could take advantage of, as well as virtual businesses.
Oh my goodness, there are so there are so
Much.
many opportunity. So I can, if I may just borrow 1 minute to just share my journey, right? About let me come back on camera. So right now I am at a conference in Washington, D.C. for the U.S. Chambers of Commerce. And I have to tell you that the reason why I'm here is because of my affiliation, my drive to grow my business. But before I started making any real revenue, I did all the free stuff. Every free class, everything free, everything. So I'm not sure. And the SBA has, if you go on the website, it is so robust. And I'm just saying that because a lot of times when we're starting off as businesses, we think that we have to do what the folks on Instagram are pretending that they're doing, right? And that's not reality. And the reason I'm saying is to take advantage of all the free classes that because you're dedicating time within yourself and your business. But the resources and information is, one, it's current. That's number one. Number two, you're not burning your budget. What you're doing is you're taking time. But the other thing is that you're adding value to the growth of your business. I did all the free stuff. And so even with, certifications and, being out in the community, do all the free stuff. Like, you do not have to pay for even my services. It's all free. It's all free.
I gotta interrupt you. I gotta interrupt you because you said You're not paying for it, but yes, you are. These are your
Right.
tax dollars at work. So please take
Right.
advantage. Okay, I'm sorry, Lady Anita. Continue.
Right. Yeah. So that way you're paying for it. But you know, if on you don't have to spend that, you're paying for it through your tax dollars, but it's all there. And sometimes as small businesses, we think that we have to go for the shiny coin. And the reality is the information is right there if you really look and do. It's a Google search. If you want to look on TikTok or whatever it is your method of doing research, it's all out there at no additional cost. So take advantage of it. And I want to keep emphasizing it because, you know, I can share, like, you know, my business went from, you know, right before the pandemic, a $25,000 a year business. Now I'm at $500,000. And I can say that because of the work and the effort. And I'm not saying that just to brag, but it's just, you know, the work and the effort and the foundational things that I did in the beginning has helped me to grow and scale my business. So don't give up hope. It's out there. You just please do the research. Please do your research and connect with organizations that can help you to grow and help you to build relationships. And I know I said I was going to stop, but I get really, it just, you know, I get really excited about it because I know that, you know, from my own testimony, but I know that you just have to take the time, believe in yourself and do the research and make sure you're in compliance when you're starting your business. Other thing, I want to emphasize that compliance.
And
Thank you
then
so
once
much.
you all are in business, you can become certified and sell to the government your product or service. And you can be making millions by competing for contracts. You can get contracts. You'd be surprised. As somebody that had a simple little business, like they did picture frames. And the guy tells me, oh, come on, my wife is going through all this. Why? Well, guess what? They got a really, really large contract providing film picture frames for every federal building from Miami to Alaska. So guess what? Any type of business is viable. Any type of business is viable, and you'd be surprised what you can do, and you can sell to the federal government. So besides certifying yourself, that will help your business look more attractive to anyone looking for your product or service. That's another thing. And also working with all these professional organizations or just going to any expo, any fair, anywhere where you can actually network and learn from other businesses. That's the whole point. Don't be afraid to go out there and stick your foot in the door. Guess what? That's how we start. And SBA has online services like trainings that are absolutely free at no additional cost. And we have our resource partners that help guide you through every aspect of business. So anytime you have a question, get a notebook, write it down. And when you speak to one of our counselors or go to the chamber and come to one of the events, you always have the questions ready to ask so that you can become more informed and will help your business get better and better and better and grow. And then you'll be like, really, really too rich for us. Oh no, that's not possible. It could happen, right? Right, Michelle? It could happen.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point. That's why we're here to help you today. So don't be afraid to ask any questions, and we're still here. We got a few more minutes.
I just want to say, as a person who's just gone out on her own after 30 years of working, 40 years of working in schools and taking this big leap, that this presentation is really helpful. Helpful and hopeful.
Because you know that anything is possible.
Yeah,
As
and the
long as
support is out there.
You're not afraid of a little bit of hard work, and you've done it for 30 years. So I'm sure you know that you have the knowledge and the experience. Of course, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
The only silly question is the one that you do not ask. And we're here to help you with in any which way we can to make this easier for you to we're here to empower you. That's my bottom line. We're here to empower you. You can do this. You can hire people. You kidding? We're gonna make this economy grow. That's the plan. Miss Ellen, I leave this on you.
Well, I'm just trying to see if there are no more questions. I know, I wish we could keep this going. This was really, really wonderful, speaking with everyone. And like we had mentioned, the government contracts, Anita had just said that too. I know during the pandemic, the federal government was still open. So if you were positioned correctly, there were a lot of people, like granted, it may have been maybe 20% of your business, but it was still something for that income stability at that time. And I believe there were a lot of people even making masks and doing different things under some of these contracts. And there are a lot of different levels that you can then make yourself available for. It doesn't necessarily need to be like for a big $1 billion rocket contract. You could do that, but it could also be, I know we were at, Sylvia and I did a presentation a couple years ago, and someone came into the presentation and said, oh, I think I need to leave. This is not for me. I just run a food truck. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, do you know how much catering the federal government does? You need to be here. We need to work with you. So it was really, really, it was just great to be able to work with people and help them to see a little differently. And to maybe have that balance of saying, government work versus, some non-government work. But, we definitely, I know our presenters will be glad to speak with you at another time as well too. If you don't have any questions right now, we'll make sure we have all the contact information provided. And so not sure if we have any other questions. And it's just, this has been a really, really helpful presentation this evening.
I am so grateful to Marcel Martino and to Lady Anita Pierce.
Yes.
For joining us today, because without you, it just would not have been the same.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till we can work more together,
Yeah.
especially my schoolgirl. Don't tell nobody. And Marcel, because I'm going to be working with the chamber as well.
That's great.
I have all of Orange County and Ulster County. I have the Bronx, and I have Staten Island, which is Richmond County. And I even have to work with a part of Upper Manhattan. So even though I'm spread out a little bit, there's plenty of me to spread. Don't tell nobody I said that. I'm more than happy to join you guys in any little event possible, as long as it's virtual for right now.
Okay.
As soon as things get better and we get permission, then I'll be out there, hanging out with you all, doing things together, learning more, working more, presenting. And we could actually get Anita to do some presentations, guys.
I know, which would be great.
And Marcel, I know that you're going to be out there with us. We're going to be working.
Whatever I can do. And it's great being with you all tonight. I hope it was a little bit helpful. And, consider
Very,
joining the
very much
chamber.
so.
Explore, think about the chamber, make sure it's for you, and hopefully you'll be successful.
I'm sure it will. It's going to work for all of us.
Okay, well, good night, everyone. And Anita, we hope your meeting goes well.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Please keep in contact with me. I put my information in the chat, and happy to support any work that needs to be done to help more learnings, more growth, and sharing love.
Okay.
So,
Caring is caring.
Okay,
I know.
great, everyone.
All right. Take good care. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
bye.
everyone. Thank you, Marcel.
Bye.
Stay safe, everybody. Bye, Michelle.